DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Let's talk time maximization, which is what we really need to be focused on. A couple videos ago, I was talking about the misnomer or oxymoron of time management, which makes no sense because no such thing as managing something that is a steady constant that never changes and has no variables like time. Human beings, we change and we are variable. So it's actually humans that need to be managed. It's not time that needs managing, because time, again, is pretty good doing its own thing without our help. So what we need to do then is think about this. This is something I was dealing with just this past week from when this is being recorded. It doesn't even matter when you see it. I'm probably still dealing with it because it's an ongoing thing. And this is something that many of you, especially if you have big goals, you're ambitious, and especially those of you who are entrepreneurs, probably deal with all the time. We got a lot of stuff that we want to do, and in getting it all done, we tend to stretch ourselves with respect to our time and just try to spend more time doing our stuff. We put more time into doing our stuff so we can hopefully, theoretically, get more things done. All right, so I got all these things that I want to do, and all these things are going to take me, let's say you want to work 8 hours in a day, but all the stuff you want to do is going to take you 10 hours in a day. So what do? You just put 2 extra hours of time into your work. Problem is, then that starts stretching into other areas of your life, and then your family life suffers, and your social life or your personal life suffers. Then you're not taking care of your body as much. Maybe you're not working out, maybe you're not sleeping, and then you realize that you do this for a certain period of time. For some people this can take years, for others it can take days, others it can take weeks. For me, it only takes a few days before I realize, okay, I can't keep doing it this way. This ain't working. And we're like, all right, this is not sustainable. So how are we going to actually get this done? Because I can't keep stretching myself with respect to time, because you can't stretch time. You get a certain amount of time in a day. You can't stretch the time. You get what you get. It's just a matter of what you get done in that time that you have. So what do you do in that situation? Well, what you do is what I'm talking about here, which is what we call time maximization, which means what are you getting done in the amount of time that you do have, and how can we get more done in the time that is available to us with respect to everything else that you want to do in your life, because we all know 24 hours in a day. So in that 8 hours that you do have to get things done over the course of a day, how can we get more done in that 8 hours? How can we get more achieved in that 8 hours? How can we make sure that instead of this task taking an hour, this task takes 30 minutes. Instead of this taking 15 minutes, maybe we can get it done in 5. Maybe instead of doing this 45-minute task at all, maybe I can delegate this to someone or something outside of myself, and I just bought myself 45 minutes of time. That's what time maximization is about. It's about not stretching and adding time to a situation, because this is what human beings often do. This is how we often respond to challenges of productivity, is we add time to situations. The reason why you don't want to respond to productivity challenges by adding time to situations, i.e., all right, this is taking an hour, but I'm still not getting it done, so now it's going to just take 2 hours to get it done. You don't want to respond to things that way. You don't want that to become a personal habit. And I know a lot of people who have this as a habit, even some people who I work with, coaching members and coaching clients who have this as a habit. I'm working on eliminating this habit that they have. The reason why you need to eliminate this as a habit is because you can't keep doing it. This is not sustainable. This is not a duplicatable process. Any process you get into in life, it needs to be duplicatable. And those who don't understand that language, just means, can you do this over and over and over and over again, and it actually increases your results? Anything that you're doing, ask yourself, if I just keep doing this, is this going to make my situation better if I did this times 10, or is it going to make my situation worse if I did this times 10? If you start asking yourself that question, it's a hard question to ask, because what's going to happen, the more you ask this, the more you're going to realize how much stuff you're doing is very inefficient and it is not duplicatable, and that means you probably need to figure out a way to stop doing it. Adding time to a situation is one of those non-duplicatable, very inefficient things to do, because you can't keep adding time to a situation, because we all know we got a limit, 24 hours in a day. So if something is taking you an hour, but you're still not getting it done, so you say, well, let me just take an hour and a half, or let me just take 2 hours, or let me just take 3, let me take 4. Well, the problem is eventually you're going to run into a limit, which is you ran out of time. And now your other stuff is going to suffer in the process. So instead, let me give you a better solution. Instead, what you're going to do is maximize time. You need to strategize and maybe you need to skill up, meaning just get better at what you do, or maybe you need to get some resources that will help you do your things better, such that in that hour that you have in which you haven't been able to get the job done, how can I get the job done in that hour? What am I missing? What skills do I not have? What tools do I not have access to? What resources am I not using? What knowledge am I not applying that might make me be able to get this thing done in the time allotted, instead of me continually adding time to the situation as my only solution? You do not want to put yourself in this box of just adding time to a situation, because again, eventually you can't add any more time because you don't have any more time left to add. You get what I'm saying? So make sure you're not setting yourself up for failure with this bad formula. Time maximization is about several things. All the things that I just said, getting better at what you do, that can help you with time. Now you just don't need as much. Using more resources, tapping into people and things that can do stuff that you simply can't do or don't know how to do, or maybe even didn't know about. That can save you a whole bunch of time and help you get things done better. Also, just taking stock of how much time things are taking and whether or not you're actually holding yourself accountable to a time limit. This is what I find a lot of people don't even do. Are you even telling yourself, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes to get this done? Are you even giving yourself a time limit? This is why I talked about in a previous video I did a couple days ago, how I bought a digital clock, put it on the wall in my office, not because I can't tell time. I put that on my wall because it holds me accountable, and I can put the timer on it. I put a 10-minute timer on and say, okay, I got 10 minutes to get this task done. Not 15, not 20, not as long as it takes, which is a terrible amount of time to give yourself for anything. I got 10 minutes to get this done, and I need to get it done in 10 minutes. Holding yourself accountable to your own calendar, to your own timer, to your own clock. If you do that more, you'll probably find yourself getting more done and having more time available on your hands to get more things done. This is also making sure that the tasks that you're doing are actually necessary to be done. A lot of times we're doing a lot of stuff that we simply don't even need to be doing. If you just looked at it and said, no, what if I just stop doing this? How is this going to affect me negatively? You'll find there's really not an answer. You don't even need to be doing the thing. You're just doing it because you're used to doing it, just by sheer force of habit. You can just eliminate that task. Okay, now that's completely eliminated. Nothing changes in your life. You don't lose at all. So time maximization is about several of these things. And I'm going to do a whole masterclass episode on this subject, time maximization. I'm just thinking of some things off the top right now, but I'm going to do a whole masterclass episode on this, and I'm also going to be creating a course which is really about personal maximization, not even just time, but personal maximization. Time is just one of the pieces, but there's many other aspects of our lives in addition to time being a very important aspect, but many aspects of our lives that I'm going to talk about in that time maximization course, which by the time you see this video, it won't be out yet, but it is coming soon, trust me, because once we get our processes and our systems in place for how I put those kind of things out, then we'll be able to crank those out, and I got a bunch of them that are on the way. So with all that said, folks, for now, make sure you are subscribed to this channel and checking in with everything we're doing here, but also Work on Your Game University. If you would like to have me as your direct coach to coach you around your mindset, the way that you're thinking about things, which is what I just talked about, your strategy, which is the game plan of what you actually do, your systems, which is how you execute on a consistent basis, and accountability, making sure that everything is doing its proper job the way that it's supposed to be done. Come to workonyourgameuniversity.com. That website link is down below in the description, or just type it into your favorite browser. Check out what we're doing in our program and come into the university. Again, that's the only place where you can have me as your direct personal coach. Workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre, all